What's up, guys? This is just going to be a quick video talking about Combate and Bellator this weekend. So there's a ton of fights up for betting. Most of them, I would recommend staying away from, but there are a few that I want to talk about. So we'll go through that quick. We'll start with Bellator and I'll get into Combate right after. So a couple notable fighters on this card. Denise Holtz is the Bellator kickboxing women's champion. She's got some fast hands, some power. So she's going to have the advantage on the feet here. But Christina Williams is going to be the bigger girl. She has some experience herself, fought some decent competition. So it's going to be a good fight. I do lean towards Holtz in that one, though. And then as far as this card goes, it's only really, stay away from Miles Jury, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are going to have him in some parlays. I do edge it towards him because he's going to have the size, the reach, a lot of fights in UFC. But we have seen him put down, even by smaller guys because, that significant size advantage is there. But he could be dropped by a guy like Gertz. Gertz goes forward, throws with power. So I just stayed away from this fight. As far as Ruth and Armasov, I'm leaning towards Armasov just because I feel like he has the better skill set, fought the better competition. Wasn't overly impressed with Ruth in his fight against Jackson. But it could be a really good fight. I mean, Ruth hasn't used his wrestling as much as he should, and he has that, really strong wrestling, so he could grind it out here, but again, I lean towards Amasov. And then these two lines here, I would recommend just staying away from. Timothy Johnson has some experience against some, top-notch guys, so Tyrell, Fortune, still new in his career. I'd stay away from this one, even maybe throw $5 on Tim for fun. But, yeah, these two lines here have been beat up, and I would just stay away from them. And then on this card, Georgie would have been a clear pick, before he got knocked out by AJ McKee. So I am worried about that here. Paul Redman throws with some power, but I'd say the better fighter, is Georgie for sure. But this line's pretty accurate. Will Fleury and Justin Moore. I like Will Fleury in this one. And then this line's off. So Aaron Chalmers and Austin Clem. Chalmers is a reality TV star, or he was on some show in the UK, and then became a fighter. Now, he's not bad. I did watch tape on both of these guys, but, Clem's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, has some good wrestling. So what I'd say on this fight, guys, is just watch some tape. It only takes about, 20 minutes to catch up on both of these fighters. And what you'll see from Clem is that, he does like to use the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu in his fights. And I think that, he might be able to get it done against Chalmers. The reason the line interests me more than anything, because it is low level, is just because I think it's off. It should be close to a pick'em. And then, Beck Rawlings, she's a big-time flop for the most part. I never really get behind her. I wouldn't be betting her. I just, I think she can take it in this fight. Brett Primus should be an easy fight for him, but again, at 1.12, nothing you can do with that. Lean towards Kiefer Crosby in this fight, but I would say the line's off again. And then Ben Dejas and Mambo, I believe is his last name. He has some really fast hands. He's a South African fighter. So I'd say the line's accurate. I do like Ricky to win. And then as far as over-unders, I wouldn't be surprised to see Primus and Bungard, be a finish. Ben Dejas and Franz, I'd say probably over 1.5, but not really interested in the props on this card. So we'll move on to Combate real quick. A couple lines that I thought were off: Karen Cedillo and Humberto Bondanay. I think Rafa and Humberto, this should be, close to a pick'em. Garcia has some power in his hands, a small, compact guy, good for the takedowns. And, he is good at locking his hands, picking guys up and getting those slams. So, he is a threat, good jiu-jitsu as well. But I don't think that the line should be like this. So, definitely some value on Bondanay. Same with Cedillo. So a couple fights to look at there. Then confident parlay builder, Raul Jimenez. And that might even be good to be paired up with Bondanay and Garcia to go over 1.5 rounds. I think if you pair up Jimenez and the over 1.5 in the main event, it gets you to plus money. So that's something to look at as well. But that's about it, guys. I just wanted to go over these cards. If you have any questions or, you placed any bets on any of these events, let me know about it. But I just wanted to put, all the options out there. And, you know, I'll be playing with all these fights through either parlays or straights and things like that. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.